It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to the Compassionate Haters Survivor Podcast, the only Survivor podcast for compassionate haters. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend, Thomas Powell, if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how's it going today?
Jake, I'm doing great. We're here on the live finale of the Compassionate Haters Guide to Survivor, and we've got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of special guests, and
I do want to point out Rizpect does lose fire.
We're going to bring him out in the most conspicuous way possible.
Okay. We've already started, but Thomas, did you watch Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans last night?
Yes, I did, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness, what a fucking finale. What a fun time. I love Survivor.
And in a lot of ways, you could say Survivor is like the best thing on TV. Isn't that interesting?
Well, they did do a whole For Your Consideration around this season, and I said, I considered this. I definitely consider this every week, Jeff Probst.
Mm-hmm.
This week's episode was called Reverse the Curse. Fine, whatever. Callback to Ghost Island, a season that was not ever referenced on this season, I'm pretty sure.
True.
So yeah, Thomas already mentioned it, but we're live in LA, and Jeff thanks Billie Eilish, Jimmy Fallon, Mr. Beast, and Zach Brown for being fans. What about me, Jeff?
Yeah, I like that the implication was that they really, people weren't watching the show, but they really, they really stirred up interest.
Oh, you heard of me from Jimmy Fallon? Like, what are you talking about? Jimmy Fallon's gonna... Whatever. He brings out the non-jury and says... Oh, and also the jury and says, they all look so good. Jeff...
Right. Calm down, buddy.
What is this? It's okay to retire, man.
There's dignity. There's dignity in retirement.
Rizpect is extremely proud of himself for outlasting Cirie. He says he out-Ciried Cirie. I don't think that's accurate, but whatever, Rizpect.
No.
Aubrey tries to befriend the Toronto International Film Festival, but she's not having it. Tiff, coming back? ASAP. That's my take.
Yeah, she's a good Survivor contestant.
Aubrey and Jonathan talk about their fire-making challenges. During this scene, I said, oh, this is all the finale is going to be about then, huh?
Yeah, they're even though they haven't revealed it, they're definitely making fire with a vote that they absolutely fucking fudged and is not real.
Come on, they can't do that. It's voting. Vote or die, like Diddy said.
Yeah, one of the many things that we should be commending Diddy for and agreeing with him.
Okay, so Joe and Jonathan agree that the boys are sticking together through the final five. Then we hear from Jeff live in LA again, and we get to interview with Cirie, who gets a standing ovation. Pretty nice.
So yeah, this was... I mean, we made fun of it a little bit at the beginning of this. We haven't really commented on it. This is maybe the single worst production decision that I think Survivor has ever made.
Giving her the Spirit of Survivor award?
No! Doing the finale or the reunion segments in between the actual finale.
It really broke up the momentum of the episode.
It's also like the reunion should be optional. It should be optional.
Well, it is for some people. Like if you're shooting Mike White Lotus in France, you don't have to come.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it should be optional for the viewer. The viewer should be able to watch the whole finale and then go, I don't really feel like watching the reunion. So, which is basically what I did. I skipped through almost all of these because I didn't watch it live, and I was very glad for that because I don't care. I'm trying to watch the finale.
Yeah. I don't know why they did it like this. This was so stupid. Immunity challenge is another obstacle course. I did, though, think that the drone shot through all of the different obstacles before they arrived was cool. Yeah. The drones are good on Survivor.
I think that this season was, towards the end, there are a few points in the finale that I thought were like way overproduced, like the edit or over edited, I should say, that they're just getting a little too into it and it was detracting from the actual challenge. Like the Samotion in particular had a couple things like that where I was like, all right, just fucking calm down.
Yeah.
How about you let the challenge do the heavy lifting here?
They have to race through a tall tower and then use a fishing pole to get a machete. A new Survivor thing Jeff wanted to point out about the fishing pole.
Okay.
Then they slide down a ramp and go through a rope tunnel, and then knock down some sandbags off a pole, and then toss those same sandbags. And then do a ladder puzzle, and then do a phoenix puzzle. The phoenix puzzle wasn't even a phoenix, I want to point out. It was just a bird. A phoenix famously comes out of the flames, right?
That's true.
Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah, it rises from the ashes after it dies, so it's not the only thing that it does.
I guess that's true. Jeff says that this is a big challenge and the stakes are just as big. But then there was no reward of stakes.
No.
So,
I thought maybe the Outback would be coming back. They're doing it really big this season. 2 sponsored rewards, which actually did end up being true, just not in the way that I thought it would be.
At one point when Rizpect is going through the twisted net, Jeff yells, "Twist! It's a twisted net!"
Shut up.
Just because you can say words doesn't mean you need to, Jeff Probst.
You all voted for twists. I
This
can't
is what
stress
you meant,
enough.
right?
Yeah, if we put twists in the challenges too.
Hey, bro, I heard you like twists, so we put twists in your twists.
Oh my god. That's very timely reference there.
Thank you. Look, Survivor's referencing the 2000s at every opportunity. I'm going to, too. Jeff points out how Joe is doing the frame before the guts, which causes Jonathan to stop to dry heave. Like, I couldn't stop thinking, was that an editing decision or was literally the word guts too much for Jonathan?
I think it was probably editing, but it would be funny if it was the other way around.
Oh, man. Is there anything worse than a dry heave?
It sucks.
At least with vomit, you, like, feel like you're doing something.
Well, and there's a beginning and an end to it. With the dry heaving, it's like, well, I dry heaved, but like there's always the threat that I might actually throw up still.
Mm-hmm. Like maybe your stomach is just, not moving as quickly as your throat is. Let's stop talking about this. Comes down to Tiff and Jonathan. Jonathan wins. He nearly does the worm to celebrate. Did you see this? He like jumped and like did like half a burpee and like landed in like almost like a worm type move, which would have been cool.
Yeah, he was going to be paying tribute to Scotty Too Hottie.
Oh, I thought you were going to reference the other one who does the worm now.
What's Otis.
Name? Otis, yeah.
Well, he does the caterpillar, right?
Oh, that's right. That's a good point. At the reunion, again, we get to go back to the reunion. We get an interview with Christian and Devins. And Jeff calls them a modern-day bromance. Like Laurel and Hardy?
I don't...
Pop quiz. When do you think...
the famous Laurel and Hardy bromance.
When do you think Laurel and Hardy were a going concern?
I think it was probably like the 40s.
I looked it up. I think it said 1927 to 44 or something like that. Which, like, Jeff, that's not even, like, from your childhood. Maybe he was born in 1961. So Laurel and Hardy have been off the air for, what, 17 years? By the time he was born?
Yeah, they're like a known pop culture thing, though.
I guess so. But like
they were on Scooby Doo.
Well, that's pretty fun. Are Kenan and Kel doing a Scooby Doo movie?
I don't know.
Speaking of modern day bromances,
weren't they going to do like an Abbott and Costello style thing where it was going to be like Kenan and Kel meets the wolf or meet the Wolf Man or something that?
I think that's probably what I'm thinking of. But also, in the future, Scooby-Doo, would love to see a Kenan and Kel movie with
He
you
should have
all.
said that they were like Abbott and Costello. That would have been a more timely reference.
He should have said they're like us.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're more like Q and Picard from Star Trek. Remember, they keep referencing Star Trek.
Yeah, they're like Q and Picard.
Yeah, modern day romance. Q and Picard were the Laurel and Hardy of Star Trek. A lot of people don't realize that, but that was actually where they drew inspiration.
So true.
So Jeff gives Devins the Mr. Beast coin. I'm sure his kids will love that.
Yes.
We get another Phoenix titty dance from Jonathor back at camp from the immunity idol. That's fun.
Yeah. Always nice to get that from Jonathan.
Rizpect tells the Toronto International Film Festival that he can't sit next to her. It's just too many jury votes. It's too many people.
Yeah, it's like that Paul McCartney song, Too Many People.
Yeah, and it's also a Final Three, and how many people is on the Toronto International Film Festival? Probably a lot.
It's time for the Toronto International Film Festival to come to a close.
Toronto puts in her work to take out Aubrey, and that's actually pretty funny, given Drake. Remember Drake? Famous Toronto rapper?
Oh my God, yeah.
His real name is Aubrey.
Toronto has turned on Drake.
There we go. At the reunion, we get an interview with Mr. White, who says Charlie and Camilla will be the next White Lotus cameos.
Yay!
It's fun. Yeah, I'm excited to see them. Have you been keeping up with the White Lotus?
I've seen all 3 seasons, so.
Okay. I'm about halfway through the 3rd season right now. Pretty fun.
Yeah, it doesn't stick the landing, I don't think, but it has its moments.
There is definitely a subplot that I've noticed. I pick up my phone every time a certain group of characters always pops up on screen. I say, I don't really care about their story. But then there's other stories where I'm like, hey, this is kind of gripping. I'm not going to get into specifics right now. This isn't a White Lotus podcast. Tribal Council, Toronto International Film Festival realizes she's going out, so she uses this as an opportunity to air out some grievances. Fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jeff says, ultimately, this is a game of social politics. Is it, Jeff? It used to be.
Yeah. Well, it's also a game of physical competition, too. So
that's true. They vote. Rizpect places idol to negate 0 votes, as his want. Aubrey gets 1 vote. Tiff gets the other 4. Sucked to see. Would have loved to see Tiff go on to win, but
yep. Yeah. Well, she should have won the challenge. That's what it came down to. Sometimes you got to win a challenge in a situation like that, and if you can't do it, you can't win.
Then we get to cut back to the live reunion. Why not? Tiff comes out and also gets a standing ovation. Pretty nice. And then Jeff immediately asks her about imposter syndrome.
Oh, banned, no more. No one is allowed to say that anymore. It's been abused.
She says 10 times out of 10, she's going to answer the call. Ghostbusters. Is that how the Ghostbusters song went?
Yeah, that was... I thought there was a second where I was like, is Ray Parker Jr. here? Did we get a celebrity guest?
You know, in the Kate McKinnon Ghostbusters movie, they called him Gay Parker Jr. She's gay, right?
Yeah, she is gay.
Okay. I was going to say, that joke only makes sense if somebody in the Ghostbusters movie is gay.
Good news.
Thanks. Good
Someone
news.
is, and it's her.
Good news. People are gay. Happy Pride. Early this year. Because we're true allies.
That's right.
Okay, at camp, they're all so excited to make it to day 25. Which I want to point out was originally just 2/3 of the game. Whatever. Apparently we don't care about destroying people's brains anymore.
No.
I like seeing the people go insane after a while, Jeff.
Yeah,
that's what makes it
suffering
fun.
More.
Dangerous fun. Rizpect practices making fire, saying, "What else do we have to do?" He's not wrong.
That's true.
That's all they have to do on the last episode anymore. I know we make this complaint every season since the fire challenge has come up, but it's more interesting to weigh people's relationships against each other than to watch people practicing fire.
Yeah, watching people practice fire is not that interesting. And it also is like, you never actually learn anything because production has to make it seem like both people have a chance.
That's a good point, yeah. Ob realizes that she is not one of the boys. Yeah, she's got to win. She says that it's scary to go and fire against a fireman. Do people realize what firemen do? They don't make fires.
Yeah, but they know how fire works. It's like, you have to know how to make a fire to put a fire out. You have to have a full understanding of fire.
You got to remember from beginning to end, and also the middle of a fire too.
I don't think there are any fire men lost fire making, because I know at least one that's won.
Who's that?
Mike.
Mike White's a writer.
Oh, okay.
Funny joke. At the immunity challenge, Jonathan pretends the ocean is a crowd and he waves at them as they approach. This is a funny bit. I liked this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's emotion. We all voted for it.
Yeah.
I was
happy to see it.
I was surprised that it only got, what did he say, 41% of the vote?
Yeah, you'd think it would be higher than that.
Yeah. Which he did say was the majority. And somebody pointed out, it's actually a plurality. Ever since what's-his-name did the plurality thing in, was that David versus Goliath? Everybody in the Survivor community loves to know the word plurality.
Yeah, and they love to be able to pronounce it correctly.
You do it then.
Plurality.
Is that not what I said?
You said plurality.
It's the same picture. I love referencing memes on an audio medium. An audio medium.
Plurality versus plurality.
Is that the poll this week?
Yes.
The polarity.
Polarity versus polarity.
Polarity. Okay, now we're just saying words. It's Samotion. This one, not good. Not a good representation of what Samotion can be.
Mm-hmm.
I did like, though, that when Jeff said, before the challenge started, you've got one thing to focus on right now. Bowls.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Okay, so then we get back to the reunion. Jeff asks Steph about being a badass woman on Survivor Guatemala. Pop quiz, when do you think that was? We've already covered Guatemala, so you should have the dates in the back of your head.
Oh, the dates memorized. I think, wasn't it like 2004?
I was going to say 2006, but yeah, somewhere in there. I think you might be right. I think it might have been 4. Ozzy talks about trusting your intuition, so Jeff gives him a t-shirt that makes fun of him.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty cool, huh? So then we get to Samotion again. We really didn't need all these cuts back to the reunion.
Yeah, it sucks.
The old reunion, you only had to cut between shows one time. At the end of the finale, into the reunion.
I know why they did it, too. Like, they did it, I'm sure, because viewership drops off once they get to the reunion portion of it. So they're like, we can keep it up because they're going to have to watch all these segments. So they'll be watching for longer. I
love forcing the audience into watching my content. And be sure to give us 5 stars, please. Thumbs up only.
Yep.
A heart would also be nice, actually, now that I think about it. Okay. So some things I did like about this Samotion. Jonathan snapping in a rhythm to, like, keep time. It didn't really work out. It wasn't a great strategy. But it's the right thought. I like that.
Yeah, I think that production got annoying about it. Like, this is the thing I was talking about with the editing, where they just kept like putting back and forth between people. They were trying to be
Yeah.
too artistic with it, and it was like, just show the challenge. Like,
Which sucks,
this is
too.
the final immunity challenge.
I really didn't appreciate how arts, like, what they did with this version. Because what makes Samotion good is, like, the silence and that hum and, like, that cutting between the, whatever, the track that, like,
Yeah, it's
makes it
like
go back and forth.
the mental pressure of it.
Yeah, and like the way they like speeds up throughout, like they could do that really well in editing. They've done it before, but it didn't really work this time. I don't know what the issue was. They just didn't go for it. They didn't do enough while also doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end, Jeff goes after all the balls drop. He goes, "The hum is gone. Now it's silent." But they're still playing like these dramatic, emotional string music behind them. It's like, why would you put that music in? Just let it be silent. Silence speaks volumes, Jeffrey. Did you know that? Anyway, Aubrey wins. And she goes,
It's a
"It's
big time
real."
win.
Yeah,
She had to win.
Perfect. Perfect timing from Aubrey. She says to Jeff, "It's real." And then Jeff says, "Is real." Why'd he say that?
I don't know.
That was weird. 60% of the
Right,
fans
that
said,
was Larry Ellison dictated that they had to do that.
60% of fans said they wanted fire making.
I don't believe this.
It feels like Jeff has a lot of burner emails. Because, you have to use the email to vote. You can only vote once.
This would be like in different wrestling companies where they would have a poll and the fans wouldn't vote the way they'd wanted, so they would just be like, "We're actually revoting with different."
Yeah.
It's like, that's not who you were supposed to vote for.
I remember we were all watching Raw when we were like first getting into wrestling, and they did that. They did the poll online, and one of them and it was like, who do you want to see this person face? And one of the options was Jerry Lawler, who was still calling matches at the time. And then he didn't win the poll, but then he jumped off of the commentator's bench and got in the match anyway. And then he had a fucking heart attack.
Yep. Well, I was gonna say, didn't he had the heart attack when he was on the commentary desk though, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it was all like within the same event.
yeah.
Anyway, Aubrey admits that she practiced Samotion from Etsy. Disqualified. You can't do that. Also, come up with new games. How hard is it to just make a new track for Samotion? It's the same track every time, all right?
That's. I don't think that they should have aired her saying that she practiced it.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it makes sense that it would be something that you could practice.
Of course. It seems like a really fun game, and I would love to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Aubrey and Joe talk about putting Rizgod in fire. Speaking of wrestling, which we were, I checked Rizgod's page. Do you remember who he said was his biggest inspiration, aside from his parents?
Was it, I don't know, was it John Cena?
It was John Cena, of course.
Wow. Never give up, Rizzo. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Hustle, loyalty, respect.
Aubrey tells them it's going to be Rizgod versus Jonathor in fire. Good enough. Rizgod cries in a talking head about how proud he is of his game. And he says, "How can you be so good, but so bad at the same time?"
Poor Rizzo. It does suck to play a good game and then get stuck in fire making both times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a negative statistic for Rizgod, but it's gonna be hard to beat. The two-time fire making loser. Jonathor is great at fire-making practice. Well, Rizgod is not. So Joe helps Rizgod like he did with Ava. Remember Joe and Ava?
Yeah. I can't stop helping people.
The flashback is just Ava doing it and Joe going, yeah, yeah. Like, that's the best you could find? You had the whole season to look over. Rizgod compares himself to the 15 seed taking out the 2 seed.
I thought that was nice.
Yeah. May Madness.
March Madness in May.
Yeah. Rizgod tells Jonathor, this might be fun, King. Do you like it when dudes call you King?
Yes.
Of course, who doesn't?
Yes, I do, King.
Yes, King.
I just realized we haven't celebrated 9/11 in May yet this year, but that's...
Oh, I was thinking about that. Yeah. Do you want to do your little song?
No, we can do that next week. It'll still be May.
It'll still be May next week. Okay. Yeah. Tune in next week for our celebration of 9/11 in May.
We're gonna see if we're gonna ask the question, have you forgotten?
And also no kings. I know we said yes, King earlier, but actually no kings.
Yep. No more kings.
No more kings except for these 2 kings. Rizgod and Jonathor.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of kings, someone brought this up. Do you remember NBC's Kings? Do you remember that show?
Yes, I was just thinking about that show. Is that one based on like the Bible, but in modern times?
Yeah. I think it's based on David and Goliath.
No, that was Survivor David versus Goliath with Mike White.
Yes, of course,
Mr. White. And Hubicki. Yes, I do remember Kings. I never watched it, but I remember people saying it's better than it was advertised.
It's just like a weird, ambitious thing. It's got like pre-Marvel Sebastian Stan in it, and then
classic.
Yeah, what's his name from Deadwood and John Wick?
Yeah, him.
Ian McShane.
Sure. Does this take place? Did it take place in Sacramento? Is that right? That's what I keep getting.
It does take place in a universe where the United States is a monarchy, which is kind of interesting.
Kings, not American TV series. Yeah, of course. March 15th to July 25, 2009. Loosely based on the biblical story of King David. Is that David versus Goliath?
Yes, he's the David.
Oh, yeah, that is what Christian said in David versus Goliath, didn't he? He went on to be king. King of Israel.
That's why Jeff said that.
Jeff was just talking about that. Oh my God, his father was Jesse Lopez? From Survivor also? That's crazy. Should we? I know we're doing a simulated season and we didn't put it on the poll this week, but I do have an idea for Survivor Bibles characters.
Survivor Bibles.
Survivor Bibles. Just 18 of your favorite versions of the Bible going up against each other.
Yeah, King James.
LeBron James.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the reunion, Jeff has a Corona beer with the quote-unquote non-jury. This bothered me. He knows they're called the pre-jury, right?
Yeah, they're called the pre-jury, and also Corona, like maybe the worst cerveza that you could have picked.
Well, especially when it causes such a flub later on with Jeff Probst.
I might have missed this, but...
No, you definitely didn't. At the Tribal Council, Jeff talks about all their previous fire-making challenges. Still talking about fire-making. Jesus Christ. It's Rizzo versus Jonathan as the first 2-time fire-making challenge competitors. Great. Hey, and speaking of Rizzo, and speaking of drinking a Corona too fast, Jeff calls out Rizgod to the stage a segment too early. He asks him about any mistakes he made, and Rizgod should have said, "Do you think you've made any mistakes, Jeff Probst?"
Yeah, I can ask you the same question.
Should have walked out with a mirror. And then he says, "Here you are, your final jury member," and the whole crowd goes, "What?" And then they come back from a commercial break, and I thought this was such a great cover, Jeff calling it the last twist of the season. Great cover from Jeff Probst. So at the fire making challenges, what a surprise, Jonathan wins, and Rizgod gives us his goodbye speech. Do you think Rizgod's retired after this speech?
Probably not.
I can't wait to see Rizgod in a old man Colby type situation, like Colby was this season. Like, oh, we haven't seen this guy in 20 years. What's he up to now? I guess 45's not that old, huh?
No.
What do you think is old?
Oh boy, what is old?
The beach.
No.
Okay.
I'd say old is, I think, like, we'll say retirement age is when you get, we'll say, like, once you start collecting Social Security, you're old.
Great news for Americans. You can never grow old in this country.
Yeah, that's right.
At camp, Jonathan asks if the guy from Castaway would be proud of them. I think so.
Tom Hanks? I don't know if Tom Hanks is proud of them.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Thomas, but Tom Hanks actually wasn't playing himself in that movie.
Oh, he wasn't? Okay.
He was playing a guy called Castaway.
News to me.
What they really should have called that movie is Wilson and Castaway. Or The Castaway and Wilson. What's the Star Wars movie called that just came out?
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
The Castaway and Wilson. Yeah. Do you think it would have made as much money?
I think it would have made a lot more money.
So then their loved ones show up. It's Aubrey's mom. It's Jonathan's brother Mario, apparently.
This was a boat full of surprisingly tall people, because there was a point when I saw Jonathan next to his brother, and I was like, how tall is his brother? His brother's huge.
Yeah. Maybe they were just standing on the sand in a certain way. I don't know.
And Joe, and also Joe referred to his wife as his tall ass wife, and I was like, okay.
Tall-ass wife.
I was like, we'll see how tall she is, and then she was like 2 inches taller than him, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. Did you see the meme? Speaking of memes, of the guy at the boxer at the weigh-in with the really tall, like, I don't know, model or whatever they have at those things, just like staring up at her.
Yeah.
That's Joe and his tall-ass wife. I love it. So they feast, and then we get a flashback to Go Wrong again. One of the best seasons.
What a good season of Survivor that was. Not as good as this one, though, because it didn't have any celebrities in it. But still. Except for Scott Pollard, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't there a famous person on that one? Yeah. We then hear from the jury. Did anybody say anything of note in this segment? I don't think so.
No, not really.
Okay, let's talk about these wildlife shots then. We've got the snake, we've got the flies, we've got the bats, Roland and his friends. And also the eastern barn owl. It's a white and brown speckled owl. Where can they be found?
Oh, probably in the east, I would think.
Asia, New Zealand, and Australasia. Is New Zealand not part of Australasia? Why would they separate it like that? Anyway, when a better foraging area appears, or opens up, I should say, do they move to that new area, or would they rather just stay put where they are?
Probably would rather just stay put where they are.
Yeah, they don't want to move. Why would they? What do they eat? I'll give you a hint. You're not going to get anything wrong here.
Okay. I'm sure that they eat like rodents, smaller birds, bugs. I'm going to leave it at that. Maybe like small reptiles.
Lizards, amphibians, and even earthworms.
They're eating everything. These guys are on a seafood diet.
So, how old are the females when they're ready to breed versus how old are the males?
I'll say the females are, I don't know, like 2 years old.
Less.
1 year.
Yeah, close enough. 10 to 11 months. Whereas the
Also,
males wait until the following year.
okay.
And the most important question about these birds, are they monogamous or polyamorous?
I'm going to say they're monogamous.
They are indeed monogamous. Um, and where do they rank on the IUCN Red List?
I'm going to say they are near threatened.
They are, in fact, it does start with an N, not evaluated.
Oh,
However,
interesting.
the western barn owl, which is closely related but on the other side of the world, is least concerned. So that seems like good news.
Yeah.
Okay, at Final Tribal Council, Coach talks about how he should have fought harder for his game in Deception Lyland. Yeah, bro. We've all
I
been saying
agree.
that for 15 years. Aubrey says she had to tell herself to not be afraid to hurt people. Hurt people, after all.
That's right. And it's a good thing.
Devin asks about secrets, and Jonathan says, two can keep a
Devin asked
secret.
about secrets. Are there going to be any more of them?
That's funny. Remember, what's his name? Who
Yeah, he
got
was
taken out?
he was hanging out with your guy Rome at the party you had for this, right?
That's right, he was there. They discussed the power broker advantage. Just call it the broker advantage, it's easier.
Yeah.
Aubrey says she selectively shared information. Steph talks about old school versus new era.
Oh, this was so annoying. Her immediately, who is it that was asking, like, is there a question at one point
That was
during this?
Tiff.
Because she was just literally just like, Jonathan, I think you're the best. You're so cool.
Yeah. Steph calls out Aubrey for not aligning to any alliance, and Sariq luckily comes to her defenses. Kind of a Camilla and Kyle type situation from their season.
Yes. This is the thing is like, if anybody out Sari this season, it was Aubrey.
Oh,
And
I think that's fair.
I think that Sari would say that.
Then Ozzy says he wants to talk about adaptation.
Great movie.
It's a great movie, but like
Chris Cooper, so good in that.
not like the time to do it. Charlie Kaufman is one of my favorites, actually. So maybe Ozzy and I could be friends. What do you think Ozzy thinks of I'm thinking of ending things?
I think he probably doesn't like it because he doesn't know how to finish a game. So he doesn't know anything about ending things.
And that movie is all about ending things, finishing the game, so to speak. Saray talks about the Joe-tation, how everyone had to watch Joe. This was so brutal. Like, Joe had no chance of winning anyway.
No.
But after this, like...
I did appreciate that. I think it was Emily was like, every vote did have to go through him. So, like, he did make people, like, he was always a major influence on where the votes went.
Yeah. Aubrey talks about separating herself from the the Middle Alliance. No, we never called them nerds. They weren't nerds. It just happened to be that everybody in the middle was a nerd.
Yeah, just a coincidence.
Get Pharrell in that alliance. Right? Wasn't he in NERD back in the day?
He wasn't an ERD, yeah.
I say back in the day, but I feel like they had an album fairly recently that was decent. Ozzy calls out Joe and Jonathan for wanting to get out the middle, and now here you are on either side of the middle. Great line from Oswald.
Yes, that was very good.
I love calling this man Oswald.
Oswald
Copperbot from Batman. Marvel versus DC. Now there's a simulated season people would probably listen to. Okay, Emily talks about self-awareness. Jonathan talks about the votes he drove. Christian talks about storytelling. Aubrey gives a great speech about her own evolution.
Yep. This was the point, like, she was always going to be the best at this part of the jury thing. I did think that Jonathan did a very good job of, when he was asked, he didn't get as many opportunities as he probably should have, of just, like, he was really instrumental in a lot of votes, like, and clearly a lot of people did not realize what he was doing getting D out. And like that was a really, really good move on his part. Like he set it up perfectly.
He played a great game. He really did.
Yes, he did.
I
Like,
think he cemented his spot in third time's a charm, should they ever do that season.
yes, there's a point in that where he was like, I don't think that I could have played like any better game. And it's like, there's only one way he could have played a better game, and it's if he had won some motion. Like that was what he needed to do in order to win. And he couldn't win it, and he couldn't stop Aubrey from winning it.
Yes. Jonathan, talks about how much work he put into playing a better game this time. I was happy for him. I didn't love his alliance. On Rome's Reality Pod, we called them the Cloth, because Chrissy said to remember to get Jonathan and Stephanie. They all said, "Oh, we're cut from the same cloth."
Yeah.
Well, what kind of cloth is that? It's Jonathan, Chrissy, and Stephanie, and we know what Stephanie is all about. And then Coach was also involved, I guess. So the Cloth voted for the Cloth. Jonathan got 3 in the end. Aubrey got 8. I think that's fair.
Joe did not deserve any votes. Jonathan definitely deserved some votes, but ultimately,
I'm trying to
Aubrey was a very strong winner.
Yeah. Rizzo, Tiff, Sari, Rick, Ozzy, Emily, Christian, and D all voted for Aubrey. I don't see any of them switching their vote to Jonathan.
No.
Okay. So no Jeff Ski again. Like, this season's been all about calling back to old eras. You couldn't bring out the Jeff Ski?
Yeah, ridiculous.
We ask you every season. This was the season to do it. How long would it take to film you being on a jet ski for 10 seconds in Fiji and then 10 seconds in LA? It sounds like about 20 seconds. You can do it on your fucking phone, Jeff. Aubrey also wins a brand new Toyota Land Rover. If you wanted a Toyota Land Rover, would you keep it or sell it immediately?
I would. Here's the question: Does it have a big Survivor logo on the side of it?
That's a really good point. It did look like a magnet, so I feel like you could probably remove it once you get home. I don't think I would ever want to, though, if I were to drive that around. Like, that's right, I won Survivor.
Yeah, I was annoyed with this because I thought it would be like Aubrey just won $2 million. She doesn't also need to get a car. I think what they should have done was said, like, we're going to continue the tradition of the car curse, but we're going to do it in a little more benevolent way this time. Like, let's say they go, Jonathan and Joe, you both get a car.
You know what
for making the final 3
fun? Jonathan and Joe, if they were to do a full reunion episode like normal, hey, since you guys were runner-ups, why don't you do a little Samotion here on stage in front of everybody? Winner gets the car. Huh? And then everybody could be like, ooh, Samotion in live in person. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a good idea. They show a preview for 51, and Jeff says, this one has no boundaries. I do want to point out it was only 12 seasons ago that somebody got kicked off the show for misunderstanding boundaries. That's not that long ago. So maybe try again, Jeff. He says we are now in the open era. The fuck does that mean?
We're in the open era. I don't know what more he has to say. Previous era closed. This era open.
Okay. So are we still calling the new era 41 through 50? It's like calling...
Yeah, that's a new era, and now there's the open era.
It's like calling shit postmodern. What do you mean? Everything that's happening now is modern. The modern era. Jeff.
The modern age of the Strokes.
Yeah, get the strokes on
That's what
Survivor.
Jeff was saying. Get the strokes on Survivor. Julian Casablancas on Survivor.
Please. Coach ends the season by talking about how we're all filled with magic. Did you feel inspired by this coachism?
No.
As Sun Tzu famously said, coffee is for closers. And
Coffee
that
is for
closes
closers.
Survivor 50. Okay. Well, talking about Survivor 50, we have to close it up with this segment. For us, it's called keeping track of points.
Yes. Let's get the
You
points.
went into the finale with 38 points. Survivor, was that Edge of Extinction?
I think so.
And I had 45
I would say that's
points.
about the quality of game that I've played.
I feel like with this season being a sequel to Edge of Extinction, as well as Co Wrong, as well as South Pacific, it kind of did bump up all three of those in like the audience opinion of each of those seasons. So that's kind of
Yeah.
a pro of Survivor 50. Okay, you said at the reward they would receive sparkling wine. It did appear they were having mimosas at the feast with their
It
loved
did also,
ones.
there is a point where I think it was Joe that they showed taking a swig out of an actual bottle. And that was the point where I was like, okay, it
Confirmed.
seemed before like there was, but that was the point where I was like, there can be no doubt there was sparkling wine.
Oh, no doubt another band that could be on Survivor. That'd be fun. Mm-hmm. Can we just do a whole season of late 90s, early 2000s bands? Okay. At the Immunity Challenge, you said Jonathan would win one. I said Aubrey would win one. They both did. Both got a point for that. Did you see any oranges at the feast at all? I didn't notice
I didn't see any oranges. I saw the juice, and I was very clear
Yes,
in the
you
previous
were.
episode that would not count.
We both said Toronto International Film Festival would come in fifth, as it happened. Both got a point for that. You took Rizgod in fourth, which did happen. Joe in third, which did happen. I had them flipped, so you got 2 points over me on that one. And then we both said Jonathan and Aubrey would take second and first. So we're both right there. So the final score is 45 for you and 49 for me.
So there was basically no way I got a perfect score on this, right? And it didn't matter.
Yes, correct.
I got every point I could have gotten, and I still lost
If I had, if I had
$1 million. I
I was just
But not
listening
a
to
real
that song
green dress, that's
yesterday,
cruel.
actually. Aubrey was wearing a green dress at the premiere, famously.
Now, if she had $2 million, then she wouldn't have to eat craft dinner, but she still would.
Okay, so pretty good season for points, I guess. Oh, did I tell you I took third place in the fantasy league? Many of our chat members
good
are
for
in,
you.
which gave me enough money to pay my phone bill.
Yeah.
Before we do the quotes quiz, do you want to hear some fun trivia about this season?
Sure.
Rizgod, the man, the myth, the legend, is the third contestant ever to make it to the finale in back-to-back seasons. Amanda Kimmel and Russell Hantz were the first two. He is the only one of those three who did not make it to both of those final tribal councils for both of their seasons.
He just fell short both times.
It's just
Feel for the
so
guy.
funny. Okay, Aubrey is the second ever contestant to become sole survivor on their fourth attempt after losing a previous tribal council and being voted out pre-merge in another. Okay, thanks fandom.com.
Yeah, that's
What the
very
fuck?
important.
It's so specific. What's the next one? Joe is the second contestant to receive no votes either throughout the game or at final tribal council.
So he never got voted for.
He's never been voted for in any capacity.
He got voted for. He had his name voted down or written down one time in the previous season, right? Like,
Yes, yes.
he mentioned that as part of his case, which I thought was like a strong opener for the case. To just be like, I want to be remembered as a guy whose name was only written down one time, and unfortunately, that is still true because his name was not written down at all for the votes for final tribal.
Do you remember who the first person who accomplished that was? It's a season we've watched.
Is it JT?
No,
Oh no, you're
JT
saying
won all of the votes
yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah. No, you're
final.
saying you're saying so no votes during the regular part of it, and they didn't receive any votes at Final Tribal.
Correct. It was
Um,
either the season right before or right after. It was right before, either the season before or two before JT's original season. I don't remember exactly the
I
number.
do not remember who it was.
It was Sugar in Gabon.
I almost said Sugar, but I was like, I thought for sure that she had gotten a vote, but apparently not.
That was in Heroes versus Villains. She got voted out
Yeah.
too early, in my opinion. Okay, so this week we saw the non-jurors, as Jeff likes to call them, drink a Corona beer. So can you tell us the name of this week's Quopes quiz?
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you could call me your majesty.
Throw one last college party and we'll give you a grown-up beer to try. Time to retire the red cups. That party last night was awfully crazy.
This is from May 31st, 2017.
Yeah.
I would have been 26, which feels like the right time to wrap up doing college parties, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's like Van Wilder age.
Was Van Wilder only 26? He seemed so old. Okay, this is Connor Dunlap. Did you say that already?
I didn't say it was Connor Dunlap, but you know what I'm saying right now?
What's that?
Man, I love college. Hey, and I love drinking. Hey, I love women. Hey, man, I love college. Hey.
Speaking of women, tune in for our simulated season next week as a palate cleanser. Oops, mostly women. Okay, pick a theme for your last ever college party. Disco, toga, foam, or luau?
Disco.
I'm between disco and toga. I don't think I've ever done an official toga party.
Toga parties are stupid. What is this, the 1970s?
Yeah, but disco is fun for party. I'll say disco.
Yeah.
Disco feels like the highest reward for the lowest effort. Because like a lot of
You get to
people,
listen to some good dance music.
yeah, and you get to revisit that Kiss album, which is always fun. Okay, what do you bring to the party? Chips, hard liquor, beer, weed. A lot of good options. I'll bring beer.
I'm going to bring some hard liquor.
That's nice. What drinking game is being played? Thank you, man.
At beer pong, I am a champion. Allen Iverson, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh my God. Speaking of AI, somebody posted in on reddit.com, there's all these, is this AI questions people like to ask on the internet. Somebody posted a picture of Allen Iverson and goes, is this AI? And everybody's like, that's funny because Allen Iverson, good joke.
Yeah.
And then somebody goes, what's the joke? And somebody replied explaining it. But also everybody was clowning them, being like, the joke went over your head. Clearly this is Allen Iverson.
I think it'd be fun to do that or to post a screenshot from the movie AI.
Yeah, that's a good bit too. And then this person came back and they said, so less that the joke went over our heads and more that unless you know who the person is, you lack the information to get the joke.
Oh my God. This is the most. It's like just sometimes you don't get a joke. It's fine.
Like, what do you think a joke is?
It's actually ableist of you to make this joke because not everyone knows who the person is. So they're at a disadvantage when it comes to laughing.
The whole point of a joke is connection points between shared pieces of context. Anyway, so I replied.
What are you playing?
Oh my God, that's where we're at. Sorry, I got distracted. Beer pong, King's Cup, Flip Cup, Drunk Pictionary. Drunk Pictionary sounds fun, but I'm doing Flip Cup. Flip Cup's my favorite.
I don't really like Flip Cup very much. We're playing beer pong.
Fuck out of here. I'll play both. I'll play any one of these games. I'll reluctantly play King's Cup, but I will play it. I know we were saying 26 is like a good time to start wrapping up your college parties, but I'll tell you what, bud, I won't. I'll never stop having college parties. They're the most fun parties to have. People in college really know how to party, don't you think?
I haven't been to a college party recently enough to know if that's still true. I'm sure it is.
I asked my wife how old our youngest friends were, because I was convinced they were like 25. She goes, 27. I said, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. I don't know anybody younger than that. That's interesting. It's not. I'm just talking. Okay, what song do you make sure gets played? Swalla by Jason Derulo, Humble by Kendrick, Greenlight by Lord, or No Problem by Chance? No Problem. It's a
Yeah, No
perfect
Problem
party
is the
song.
partiest song of all of those.
Yeah. I am bummed out when it ends.
It's a good song.
Keg stand? Duh. Nope. I'm gonna say nope.
I've done one before. I'd do one again.
I don't need that. I don't need to do all that. I don't need people grabbing my ankles. That's weird. Pick a fun way to consume your booze. Jello shots, beer bong, excuse me. Rummy bears or shotgun. I do love a Jello shot. Jello shots are so silly.
Yeah, I think I also am going to go with Jello shots. I've shotgunned a beer before. I don't really like it that much.
Yeah,
I would not do a beer bong. Rummy beer seems like something I would like, but yeah, Jello shots, classic party.
Yeah, rummy beer is a fun thing to try once when you're like 18 years old, and then you go, oh, never mind, I'll just drink alcohol.
Frankly, I'm kind of surprised that we never did that.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Well, I'm saying like we never, like when we were at Central.
Yeah.
Because there was that period where we would be getting that like really cheap white rum to get drunk on, and it's like, why didn't we do it with that?
Yeah. It's not a good time. I did once do it. I think I was living in Chicago by this time. And we forgot about it for too long, and then we found it many hours too late. It was
all
nasty.
Gross and sticky, I'm sure, yeah.
It was gross and sticky. It had inflated too much. It, like, started to take the shape of the jar's interior. Wouldn't recommend. Are you going home with someone? Heck yes. Gross, no. I'm going to say heck yes. I'm literally married.
I'm also gonna say heck yes.
Oh. Who you going home with?
You know what? None of your business. Lady doesn't kiss and tell.
Okay. Good Morning is hailed as one of the smoothest and most decadent stouts out there. Good Morning is not just a beer to be chugged, but a treat to be shared and savored. I would try this beer. It sounds tasty. What did you get?
All right. I got Heady Topper. Heady Topper is one of the best and most difficult to get beers in the world. It has a great balance of flavor, which goes great with the jealousy of those who've never had it, or like a burger.
Nice. Treehouse Brewing Company is the one mine is from. Can you tell where yours is from?
It's like Alchemist, I think is what it is.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for that one. BuzzFeed from 10 years ago. Have you had that beer?
It's a double IPA. Ugh.
Get over yourselves, dude. IPA, more like IPU. Too many IPAs.
It's been long enough. I don't really drink a lot of IPAs anymore. I'd probably enjoy it more if I had it now. But like, yeah, I really burn myself out on those.
Yeah, it's unfortunately the only type of beer anyone makes anymore, it seems like.
That's not true.
Maybe that's just my neighborhood kind of thing. That's what.
Just drink either like imported stuff or domestics, and you won't ever have to drink an IPA again.
Yeah, these ones are the ones that we drink mostly are imported from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, that's not.
I drink it all day.
You could drink like a nice. You could
It's
drink a
called
nice Czech
all-day
lager.
IPA.
You could drink a cerveza. You could drink like a Pacifico.
Okay. That all sounds real nice. The show's on YouTube at the Compassionate Haters Survivor podcast. What can people comment on YouTube should they want to?
Ha ha ha, very funny, or ha ha ha, very funny smiley face.
Thank you to everybody who does that. Our regular commenter did actually do the full line this time with the or just smiley face part too. So we appreciate that. Last week's poll, do you remember what it was? Shit, it's a big
It
one.
was about what we were gonna pick for the.
Yep. Our next simulated season, it was Pros versus Pros, Crush Island, or podcast hosts. Which one? Well, which one would you have voted for? I assume you didn't vote.
We already know pros versus pros. I've
Yeah.
been very clear about that.
We always throw Pros versus Pros on these polls, and it always gets 0% of the vote.
I'm so annoyed.
I don't understand why people don't want
What
to hear.
the fuck is wrong with you people?
Like, it's literally professional writers versus professional athletes. What's a better idea than that?
Yes. It's an incredible idea. What the fuck?
And the title is a pun. How many times do you get a pun title for a Survivor season?
Yeah.
Podcast hosts.
Ingrates.
Podcast hosts got 40%. Fine. Podcast hosts I look forward to doing sometime too, but 60% of the vote did go to Crush Island.
Crush Island. All right.
Do you want to guess who? Did you see who I used as all the thumbnails for each one?
I did not.
It was Mike White for Pros versus Pros, obviously.
Yes.
There's probably been a professional athlete that has written a book that's been on Survivor, huh?
Yeah. Probably.
Jimmy Johnson's probably written a book, right?
I bet Jimmy Johnson's written a book.
It was obviously Rome for podcast hosts, and then I gotta say there was just something about her that I like. I did use D as the thumbnail for Crush Island.
Crush Island, yeah. Well, there is just something about her. I think that's 100% true.
I can't place it, but anytime I see her on my screen, I get happy. So this simulated season will feature 20 people, including 2 men and 1 non-binary person, most likely, to counter our Conclave episode. I applied to a Catholic organization for a job recently, and I sent them the Conclave episode. I hope that was worked in my favor.
Okay. I don't know why you did that. That seems like a bad idea.
Okay, so keep that in mind. Tune in next week for Crush Island. Should we give the listeners a poll this weekend? Yes, we did have one. It was plausibility versus possibility. No, that wasn't it. What was it? Plurality versus plurality.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't hear a difference in the way we're saying it. You say it.
You're putting an extra L in. Plurality. Plurality.
Plurality. That's
Yes.
plurality. That's what I'm saying.
That's not what you were saying.
Okay, whatever.
Go back and listen to it when you edit it.
All right. Well, if you have an opinion on the correct pronunciation of this word, visit our YouTube page, the Compassionate Haters Survivor podcast. And if you want to hear more of my takes on Survivor and other pop culture, I guess, I'm kind of the jester on Rome's reality pod every week with Rome from Survivor 47. Check that out exclusively on YouTube. A lot of the times the other 3 guys go, "Hey, Jake, what the fuck are you talking about?" So that's a fun little different thing. Thomas is too polite to say that on this podcast.
I never do that. I've never said exactly that.
Thomas, if people want to follow you on social media, where can they do that?
You can follow me at tom.tom on X, everything at formerly known as Twitter, or at tom.tom.bsky.social.
Perfection. A few shows on Patreon where you can give us money if you want to do that. What can people write there? Or what? Don't write on anything on Patreon. Write your credit card information on Patreon.
Yeah,
for
write
us.
your credit card information down and any other info necessary to subscribe. But we'll say Pope and Change since you brought up the Catholic thing. It's a shame that we don't have an episode of that you could have. If we had done an episode with the Pope and Barack Obama, I think that you would be in at whatever Catholic organization that was.
Famous Catholic president Barack Obama.
Yes, the first Catholic president.
I also applied to the Obama Foundation. You know, they're opening this new library for him, museum, whatever.
You're like, I have a podcast with him.
I have a podcast for $1.5 million with the Mr. President. So if you give me this job, I could probably talk to him about that. They said this is a weird thing to write in a cover letter. It's weird that they even wrote back just to write me that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can
It's actually
subscribe
weird.
to...
You're the one that's being weird. I'm not being weird.
Yeah, I'm being normal about the president and popes, actually. P&P. Would that be a fun segment? Or simulated season? Presidents versus popes?
Yeah. The ultimate showdown.
Okay, we have to thank the fans now.
Would love to thank the listeners, commenters, and subscribers. Thank you for listening, commenting, and subscribing.
Okie dokie. And if there was a review they wanted to write anywhere they could do that, what would they write?
This is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all of the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up.
Alrighty. Well, we will be back next week with Survivor Crush Island. And for the final time, Yod's coach. Have a great summer.
I'll see you. Deuces.
I don't know if you heard this or saw this maybe on any website. We talked about my sister's having a baby soon. Mm-hmm. It's been a pretty eventful year for
I didn't see that
siblings.
on any websites. I heard that from my mom, but...
That makes sense. Well, this past week, my brother and his girlfriend went to Spain and got engaged.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then I, this year, got to meet a bunch of my favorite guys from TV. So...
Great. Well, what a great year for the Scheidel family.
What a fun year for all three of us. Really moving forward with our lives.
That's right.
Oh my God, Thomas, did I ever tell you Jeff Probst directed and wrote a movie in 2001 called Finder's Fee? Have you heard this?
I have not heard this.
I
think we probably have to watch that at some point for
an off week, yeah.
Yeah.
I did put it on the list a while ago when I first came across it. Wow, what a cast. A Jeff Probst film, Finder's Fee. The numbers don't lie, but the players just might. It's Eric Palladino, Ryan Reynolds,
Okay.
Matthew Lillard, James Earl Jones, and Robert Forrester.
Oh, okay. They got the star of School of Life to be in that.
Yeah. Heading home one evening, Tepper finds a wallet. He notifies its owner by calling a number he finds inside, then discovers it contains this week's $6 million lottery ticket. $6 million?
That's nothing.
I'm just giving that
That's
back,
only
bro.
That's only 3 times as much as they won on Survivor this season.
Just play Survivor 3 times on a monumental season. That's all you need to do.
Play Survivor 50 3 times and win every time.
Yeah.
Smarten up, Probst.
One guy, big Mo, 2 guys, little bitty Mo, 3 guys, 4-eyed Mo, 4 guys, no Mo, 5 guys, eat Mo, 5 little guys named Mo.
You want to remember 5 guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is such a good one, too. It's Survivor, it's sports, it's news, it's pop culture, and which, and is there a theme, and can you find the theme? This one's pretty good, actually. First guy is Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell from A League of Their Own, from the talk show that she hosted, from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes, she has done a lot of hosting in her day. How about Bryant Gumbel?
Bryant Gumbel, host of Real Sports on HBO, I believe.
Yes, of course. How about Jeff Probst?
Oh, wow, okay. So this is all hosts, I'm assuming. This is Jeff Probst, host of Survivor. He hosted something before Survivor, didn't he?
Yeah, he did Rock and Roll Jeopardy. That was, I think, his big thing. He also, I think he might have hosted something on FX.
I think that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
When FX was first coming up in the 90s. Our fourth guy is Adam Scott.
Adam Scott, of course, the star of Boy Meets World.
Yep.
And Severance. And I think that's it. Has Adam Scott hosted anything? I mean, he hosted Are You Talking U2 to Me and all of the other variants of that, but...
Yeah, I don't know if Adam Scott has hosted anything other than those podcasts. Our fifth and final guy is Josh Ohm.
He's the host of Queens of the Stone Age. And before
That's
that,
right.
Caius.
Okay, I'm looking up Jeff Probst. Yeah, Rock and Roll Jeopardy from 1999 to 2001. He was the host of. Oh, and he was a Celebrity Jeopardy contestant in between 2001 and 3.
Interesting.
He was on I Get That a Lot. Oh, that was that fucking like Candid Camera show where it was like Candid Camera meets Hidden Boss or whatever that show is called.
Yeah.
Where they pretend to be a blue collar worker and
Undercover Boss.
Undercover Boss, that's the one.
Oh, what was it? I'm sorry, Jake. I'm sorry. What was the theme? You didn't tell me what the theme was for.
Oh my
for
God,
Five
you're
Guys.
right. I just got so excited to talk about Survivor. The theme is guys who have hosted the finale, or the reunion, I should say, or been in the audience at the reunion.
Oh, was Adam Scott? So Adam Scott is a Survivor fan, and he was
Yes.
at the. Okay, yeah.
He's famously in, well, he was actually at this one too, but he famously is in the background of a shot in the Redemption Island reunion, I want to say. And then apparently Josh Ohm was also at this one
Big
this
Survivor
year.
fan. Okay.
Yeah. And then obviously Jeff Probst has hosted every reunion since the 5th season. Before that, Bryant Gumbel did a season or 3, and Rosie O'Donnell did the other 1 or 3. I can't remember who did more.
Okay.
But those were early on. You would know that if you ever watched the reunion episodes.
I mean, I usually will like skim them, but well, I didn't have a choice this time, now did I?
Yeah, they really got us with that one. Weird.
Are you gonna redo the intro now?
I guess I'll redo the intro now. Did you just hang up on me?
No.